teacher in Kendra Vidyalaya. For the last 24 years, he has the experience as a teacher. He as well about 12 years in this sky system. And with his sincere and dedicated, you can see him delivering the lecture. The same way, a person, sincere efforts of 24 years of service in the Kendra Vidyalaya, he has been awarded as the best teacher by Ministry of Human Research and Development in the year 2005. So I thank you very much. He is a great asset to our system, very dedicated personality, and many times whenever we come here from Bangalore for the master course in English, we request Mr. Nakiran to come all the way from Chennai. So I once again thank Mr. Nakiran for accepting our invitation, and he is going to give us a beautiful lecture on the universal magnetism with a lot of demonstration. He is going to convert you all as a student. You will be, at the end of the session, you will really enjoy his teachings. And by the way, he did his MA in Yoga for Human Excellence. Now I take the opportunity for introducing me, Mr. Nakiran here, and I request Mr. Nakiran to take the forum. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Be blessed by the Divine. Again, my dear brothers and sisters, let me first wish you good health, long life, enough wealth, peace, prosperity, wisdom and happiness with the blessings of our Guru and Almighty. Today we are going to have elucidation of gravity as the first session. The elucidation of gravity is the scientific name of realization of God. Now the world has become more scientific, and so the name has been changed accordingly. So the recent generation will understand if you say gravity only, not as God. That is why the name has been changed as elucidation of gravity. Even just now, Professor Dr. Kani corrected me. Instead of saying Om Shanti, 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 you say peace, peace, peace. But having got an opportunity to be with the people from Karnataka, for them Shanti is not a word, it's a lifetime experience. So I prefer to utter this word Shanti, 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 rather peace, peace, peace. So now we have changed the name. The reality is realization of God. So that is what now we are going to elucidate the gravity. What is gravity? What is its form? And what way it is going to be helpful to us, and why we should know about it. So instead of gravity you can say God, or you can consider it as a gravity. So now we'll ask why we should realize God, for which all the way should we have to come from Karnataka, applying leave, leaving all the household responsibilities. This is the first question. The second question, what benefit we are going to get out of it. So after completing this course and you are going, you should feel that you have been benefited. Otherwise, you should not charge me, you have to charge only Mr. Satyamurthy and Mrs. Satyamurthy. They have only taken the pain to bring you all the way here. Rather, I am privileged to be with you because they have invited me here. So the elucidation of God, it is not the concept that mankind was searching today or yesterday. It's an age-old practice. People started searching and researching, devoting all the way their life, leaving the family, leaving their wealth. People wanted to find what is God, how is God, and that they are still unable to find. Swami Vethathiri maharishi would say that the mankind is suffering because of 4 defects, he says. Only 4 defects. Because of that they are suffering. The one or two or one or more. The four only. The first one is searching and researching the God but still unable to find out. That is the first defect for the mankind for suffering. If you refer the history, in the name of God there are so many religions, so many rituals and so many wars, so many murders. See, that is the only thing. So if you elucidate the God, if we make people to realize God, then all these problems would be solved all of a sudden. But unable to find the God, so that is a prime fault in the mankind. That is why so much of war. So now we are here to find what is God. Okay, then at least the war outside it over or not, within ourselves, our family, our office, our neighbors, the war will be over. So for that purpose only we are here. This is first defect. The second defect is the poverty. People want to live in comfort. They need material, wealth. But unable to fulfill it, they suffer. Throughout the life also people suffer. So that is another problem. But now the mankind has overcome the poverty. Somehow they are now able to enjoy the wealth now. So that problem is coming down. The third one is they are unable to realize the value of the mankind. My neighbor, whether he is my friend or foe, I have a doubt. My wife, whether she is my friend or foe, I have a doubt. My husband, whether he is my friend or foe, I have a doubt. My boss, my subordinate. So, unrealizing the value of the human being, we have a fear. Because of that we trouble them and get troubled by them. The son-in-law and father-in-law, no problem. Whereas mother-in-law is afraid of daughter-in-law. So daughter-in-law is in turn afraid of mother-in-law. So mother-in-law threatens daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law in turn troubles the mother-in-law. So the problem starts there. That is why Swamiji says, always the laws will go together, but only two laws will not go together. That is mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law. I don't know why he would say. So this is the problem. That is the third defect. Without realizing the man power, the human nature, we trouble each other and get troubled. The fourth one is unable to realize the cause and effect system, or realizing the cause and effect system, ignoring the system, we do some actions, by the result we suffer. As a student, when our children were studying in college or in the school, someone says smoking is good. So that fellow, for a hobby, he smokes. That time he was not knowing it is injurious to health. But after 5 or 6 years, when he is with his family, he buys cigarette and smoke, where it is written cigarette smoking is injurious to health. As a student, unknowingly he did this. Now as a man, he knows the result, even then ignoring the result he is doing it. So this is unrealizing the cause and effect system. We do some work and then we suffer. Sometimes realizing the result also, we ignore it and then do and suffer. So these are the four defects the mankind suffers. But if you relieve from these four problems, all the problems in the world will be solved, and the aim of World Community Service Center. What is the aim? World peace can be achieved. That is why Swamiji found this World Community Service Center. When he found World Community Service Center at Kuduvancheri, it is a village near Chennai, there were only few people, and he was not a man with a lot of wealth. And he made one board, World Community Service Center, and he kept there in front of his hut. Had he kept a board, Kuduvancheri Welfare Center, people would have supported him. He kept a board, World Community Service Center. What a poor weaver can serve for the world peace? That's a question all along. But he immediately explained, I am from a rich tradition. I may be poor by wealth, but I am from a very rich tradition which found three facts which so far the so-called scientific world could reveal it. Three facts the so-called scientific world could not reveal yet, but my tradition, my ancestors have already found it, experienced it enjoyed it. So I am from that tradition, and so I can help the world to achieve the peace. What are the three facts? Again we go to the first fact. What is God? So far scientific world has defined it. Any scientific book or scientist defined? God is this and God characters is this. Any book is there on God? No. But our ancestors have defined 4 great formulas on God. Brahmana Brahmam, Aham Brahmasmi, Ayanamsam Brahmam, Tattvamasi. They defined God. A formula has been given by our ancestors. So Swamiji says that mankind suffers with 4 defects. The prime one is searching and researching God, still unable to find out, whereas my ancestors have already found out. So now if I can help you to find out the God, and I will be able to get peace in you, that's the matter. So now why we should find God? That's the question. That we will come back. We'll go to the second fact that scientific world has not yet defined is what is life force, what is its existence, what is its effect in our body. So far the scientific world could not define. Suppose they found out what is life force, they could have put it in an injection and they would have made everybody alive. All the mortuaries would have been turned into guest house in the hospital. Long back it was given AC. Right? Air conditioner was provided in mortuary only long back. Still unable to find out the life force. But our people realized the God, the primordial state, the base for all living being is God. That is called Sat. Sat is the truth or God. Its functional state is Sit. That is nothing but life force. And the effect of Sat and Sit union is Anandam, the pleasure, the enjoyment. So they give a single line formula, Sat Sit Anandam, Sachitanandam. They gave a word. So Sachitanandam is the effect of God and the mankind and the result that we enjoy. So they defined. The third fact that mankind, the scientific world could not reveal is the cause and effect system. What comes as the effect and what is the cause? They are unable to find it out. But our ancestors have identified it. And they defined a formula. You do your duty, forget about the result. Bhagavan says in Gita, you do your duty, forget about the result. Because when I do the duty, what comes as the result, you have to know. Swamiji always would show that. To say the cause and effect system, you will always clap. Now I also clap. What you got? A sound. Can I change the sound? I will clap, but sound should not come. If I say I clap, sound should not come, means it's not possible. Because when I clap, my 2 hands only join. What comes as a sound? Before me the air is there. The air is the nature. The nature is compressed, so it is transformed into sound energy. The air, which has the energy, which is compressed, it gets transformed into sound. So the nature comes as the result. So action is yours. What comes as the result is the nature. So it cannot be prevented. How can I prevent it? If I change my action, I can change the sound. So unless you change your action, you cannot change the result. This our ancestors have realized long back. So they gave cause and effect system. If you do good act, the result will be good. That is called punya. If you do a bad act, the result will be very bad. That is called papa or sin. So they said virtue and sin. There are 2 guidelines they have given. With that they led their life. That is why they were so peaceful. They were very peaceful. But are we peaceful now? You take your grandfather's life. He would have got 4 or 5 children. One of your father would have been the 4th child or 7th child. Right? And they all got educated. They all had a family life. They had a house, everything. But now we are also educating our children. We are in the queue for a pre-KG admission. Now the school correspondent asked, what is the age of the child? No, it is only 2 months pregnant. Advance booking. Now we are for advance booking. Whereas our grandfather had 7 and 8 children, but now no problem for education. You say whether their living is a comfortable living or scientific living, or we are living in a scientific world. There's only. And their living is based on cause and effect theory, that they call it as karma yoga. Karma means action. Yoga means joining your mind with the result and deciding the action. So that is called karma yoga. So Swamiji, when he found World Community Service Center, he wrote the book in English called Karma Yoga, where only he defines, this is the base for our living. This is the base for world peace. So Karma Yoga is a system of life which is one of the most scientific method of living. That's what Swamiji says. So our ancestors have lived a scientific method of living where they first realized God and then they decided their way of life. So all the religions even today, they mark only two things. One is the God consciousness or realizing the God. The other one is the virtuous way of living. To make a trouble-free living, a peaceful living, you should adopt the virtuous way of living that has only three principles. What are the three principles? You should never hurt anybody or yourself, self or anybody, to the body or the mind, in the present or in the future. That is called morality. The other one is, you should help people when they are suffering. You should help people. That is charity. Then you should do your duty for yourself, your family, your kith and kin, your native place, and to the world. You have to do your duty. You cannot go away from your responsibility. So, the morality, charity, and duty, if you adapt these three principles, your living become virtuous, and so you will be always enjoying the good results and peace. So, this is what our ancestors found, and for which first they realized God. Why you should realize God? That's what Swamiji asked. Now I just show my hand. Can you show your hand? Please show. It has 5 fingers, Yeah. If I take one of your thumb, can you make it and keep? You can't make, Then who made this thumb? It is the supernatural power which you can call it as God. You can leave now hand, Bhagavan or whatever you want. So it is a God which has made this. Father and mother just enjoyed, but as a free gift we came. Right? We came as a free gift. But the free gift is a very costliest gift. One kidney alone, 10 crores. Right? Made by only Almighty. Our scientists are unable to make one kidney and then replace it still. That is why they realize we should realize the God. Otherwise our ego will come up and conceal everything. When we become egoistic, we don't know what we are. We will lose ourselves. And that is why they wanted you should realize the God. A computer engineer, he was very fast in sorting out his work for the next day to submit his project. That is, being a Sunday, his wife was along with the kid sitting and observing the husband, how busy my husband is. He said, I am working for the past 2 hours, I am developing a little bit of headache. Could you prepare a cup of tea? Yes. She said, you take care of the baby, I will go and prepare the cup of tea. She was in the kitchen preparing a cup of tea. The child was moving here and there. This man was so busy with his files. Suddenly the child moved the tumbler, the glass of water poured into the laptop. All of a sudden, that's all. The mummy could hear a sound of the child, and when she rushed to the hall, the child is flat, the person is blinking, because he thrashed the child the moment the water is poured on the computer. Immediately the wife asks, after taking the baby, she asked the husband, what? Vazhga valamudan? No. Are you a human being? Are you a human being? When she married only a human being. She had no doubt whether I am marrying a human being or an animal. Right? Even you cannot compare that being with an animal now, because when you start for aliyar, you would not have got delayed because your pet dog was beating its child, or any cow is beating its kid. Only animals do not do that, but we do. We beat our own children. It is something different. So, the people around the world was finding weapon to win others, to win other countries, to kill others. Whereas the people in India, they were finding weapon to conquer himself. I was myself, I was doing my work, my child is playing. Suddenly I have beaten. What happened to me? I lost control over myself. So in order to gain control, they identified what to do, who am I, why I have behaved like this, what made me to behave like this. When they started doing research on themselves, they found the weapon. That weapon is meditation. And the result was realizing the God. The realizing the God was the result. Because God alone has got lot of forgiveness, lot of love and compassion. It is holy and divine. So if I identify the God and I am with the God, then there won't be any problem. So I will be myself. That is why they tried to identify God. They wanted to realize God. It is one aspect. The other aspect was why to realize God. What made them to realize God? So they were searching for the God because long back they understood all the things what is provided in the world is by God only. For example, just consider a practical example. In Chennai and all, we have in the gate there will be a bag where the milkman will put the milk. I think in Bangalore also the same, right? So we just opened our gate in the morning. We are to pick up the milk. We saw suddenly a 1 lakh rupees bunch of money is there in the milk bag with a note. What note? The note says that daily 1 lakh will be put in the bag, but you should not open the door before 5 o'clock in the morning, and you should not try to see that who is putting this money in the bag. Okay, we have taken 1 lakh. Second day another lakh. Then we purchase a very costliest car for 40 lakh. Suddenly we are going to build a bungalow in Bangalore that needs about 10 crores. Now we will be looking for whom? The person, he is putting daily 1 lakh. If we know who is he, we can ask him to give all lump sum. Then you put 10 crore in 1 day and forget us for another 10 years. We can ask, we will be searching. This is why the persons, our ancestors, wanted to find God. Swamiji would say that God is the provider. So Swamiji gives a name for God as providence. He says providence. Providence is the one which provides everything for us. God has provided anything for you? Can you tell me anything God provided to you? What He has provided? Your life? See, God only provides means, if we say simply, it is not possible. Swamiji always would quote an example. Our son got educated here, went to America, got a nice job, and he earned a lot of money. So he invested in India, and also he invested in America, where he purchased a bungalow, a car, everything. Now he come back here on 1 month vacation. He says that everything is there perfect, excepting one thing in my house. What is that? One girl. He is 30 years old, he is a bachelor, went to America, got a job there, purchased a bungalow, purchased a car, everything is there for him now. What is missing there? One girl to look after him, cook and give a food for him, to enjoy life. Now he has come at the age of 30 for 1 month vacation. He says, I want to get married. Now the father gives an advertisement. I want a girl of age between 23 and 27. So can you order 1 day and get it within 1 day? Or anybody here to say that I will make a girl tomorrow by 23 years old? No. When he is born, after 5 years or 7 years or 3 years, a girl has been produced by the God. 2 people got married. Someone get married within 10 months they get baby. Some people get married after 10 years also they are not getting baby. Some people have not married but they have got the baby. Yes? See the nature. The nature provides everything. That is why if you say that God has not provided anything means no, you cannot say. If you are married, yes, God has provided a girl for you. When you are born, after 10 years or 5 years, someone is born for you, which is provided by the God only. So the God is the providence. And naturally people want to know who is the provider. Yes? They wanted to know who is the provider so that whatever we want we can ask him directly. So this is the other sense they searched for God. But they could not find God. Why? Why God could not be found? That is why the word is elucidation of gravity. In the other way, it is realization of God. in the sense what we have given the course is Brahma Jnana. Jnana means what? Knowledge. Jnana means knowledge. But what is the benefit of knowledge? Swamiji asked this question. He asked once, what is the taste of the sugar? Sweet. So you write 5 kg sugar. Will it taste? Or some sugar patient says, no, my sugar will rise if I write 5 kg. I will write only 5 gram. You write even 50 kg, nothing will happen. So if you have a knowledge of God, nothing will happen. No use of it. Just like writing sugar only and knowing the taste of sugar as sweet. Whereas if I give a handful of sweet to you, sugar, and you taste it, what happens? You are able to realize the taste of the sugar. That is what Swamiji says. If you say jnanam is wisdom, wisdom is different from realization. Wisdom is to know what is its nature, but realization is to enjoy what it is. So if I say a sugar, which has a phenomena, which has the structure, which has the color, which has the shape, yes, it's a sugar. So it is phenomenal now. So I give the sugar to you, 1 teaspoon. Now you put it into your mouth and then you start tasting it. Sugar is there now. The sugar completely dissolved with your saliva and you observed it. Now sugar has gone. Sugar is non-existing. But is it there or not? It is there where? In your blood. In your blood sugar level rises. It is there, you cannot see. Now it becomes non-phenomenal. If you say phenomenal means which has the structure. And when it is structureless, you can call noumenal. But it's a new word Swamiji coined in one Brahmajnana course like that. Or you say non-phenomenal, scientifically speaking. Now the sugar has become non-phenomenal. Can you say sugar is not there? It is there, but cannot be seen. It is non-phenomenal. So non-phenomenal is God. And what is the difference between the phenomenal and non-phenomenal? So if you realize it, what is God, we can know. So now I will just show you a phenomenal thing. What is this actually? It's a paper. I can squeeze it, I can tear it, I can give it for you to note anything, for your doubt, anything you can use it. It's a paper. I'll show another paper now. Yes? It's a paper? Can I tear it? I can tear, this is a paper, I can tear it, but I cannot tear this because it has a value now. So if you say this is a non-phenomenal, it is a phenomenal. Now you see the relationship between the phenomenal and non-phenomenal. What is the relation? The phenomenal one has the base which is non-phenomenal. Without this paper, this structure cannot exist. So for every phenomenal thing in the world, what you see, a non-phenomenal thing is the base. If you call the God is a non-phenomenal which can only be realized but cannot be seen, then that we call it as arupa. Rupa means phenomenal, arupa means non-phenomenal, and our ancestors found that God is non-phenomenal which can only be realized, cannot be seen. But now we have a doubt of so many structures and they have given so many rupa or phenomenon for God, defined God in so many forms. What is it? For which Swamiji says that blind students, 5 or 6 were with a guru. They studied about the characteristics of elephant. They wanted to see the elephant. So the guru arranged for a trip to a museum where a sculpture is there of elephant. He took them to the sculpture and asked them to observe it. One of the blind person went and touched the pillar, say the leg of the elephant. He said, elephant is nothing but a pillar. Is it true or not? Yeah. He is able to observe a pillar like a leg, so he says, it is existing. Another person touched the tail. He said, it's nothing but, God is nothing but like a coir. It's a thread like, a rope like. Yes, it exists. Then he defined with that. Another person touched the trunk. He said it's a sharp weapon. Yeah, whatever they observed, whatever they realized, they expressed it. For which they give one phenomenal structure. That is why that, but it exists. You cannot say it is not there. But the realized persons know that everything is one, which is non-phenomenal, that is the base, that is the God. So non-phenomena is there in you or not? If you are having non-phenomena as a base means, and non-phenomenal thing is God means, everybody is now God. Everybody is God. So now we will go from here and to house and then say, I am God now. I am Brahman. Brahman means God. So I am Brahman. Brahman has come. If you say means, your wife will be very much worried. What happened to this person? We have to ask Professor Satyamurthy. Having taken him, we have changed something. No. If you go from here, as a Brahmajnani, you will be the same person. You will be the same person. But there should be a change in the non-phenomenal thing within yourself. What is a non-phenomenal thing within yourself? Can you say? Your life force. Because we have come for elucidation of gravity, and so we should see what is gravity and what is the relationship between the gravity and ourselves. Do we have a non-phenomenal thing? Yes. Can you show your mind? You cannot show your mind. Okay, what is the base for your mind? Any idea? Now we'll just see that. For mind is the one, with that only we are able to identify everything. Suppose a person is coma stage, he cannot identify anything. So mind is the base to understand. So to know something, you need mind. So okay, to know something you need mind means you need an object to know. To know some object is required. And to sense the object, you need a tool. Suppose an object is there, to see that you need your eye. Eye is the tool, the mic is an object, and your mind is the one which is sensing. Okay, we need three to know everything. Right? What are they? The tool, the mind, and the object. So now I will show an object. Your mind is with me now. Now you see what it is and then tell me what it is. It's an object. Your mind is with me. You are seeing this. And can you tell what it is? Object is there, mind is there, and your eye is there. You are all opened your eye and you have seen, but unable to judge it. Now I will tell you, this is a broken handle of a knife. It's a broken handle of the... Now you can understand what it is. You are seeing it or you are realizing it? You are realizing. Through what you are realizing? Your mind was with me. Your mind saw this, observed it. Through your eye, the object was there. With the three you are able to identify but could not understand what it is. When I say it is a knife, you are able to realize it. Where is the knife? Knife is in your consciousness. Your mind has already learnt what is knife, which is stored now. So now you are connecting your mind with your consciousness and you are able to accept, yes, knife will have a plastic handle. It could be a broken handle of it. So there is one consciousness in everybody which is only understanding everything and storing it. That consciousness is yours. You are that consciousness. That consciousness is non-phenomenal. Can you say your consciousness is of this color and this shape and this size? No. You have consciousness, now you can realize it. The consciousness effect is only to realize it. So that only understand everything. The mind only helps. Your sense organ only helps. So what understand is only the consciousness. But if you are able to realize that consciousness, which is non-phenomenal, which is existing in you, that is God. Because the God is consciousness. That is why they say prajnana brahmam. Prajna means what? Conscious. Prajna is conscious. So without consciousness, you cannot realize anything. So consciousness can only realize God. So it means God is consciousness only. So they say prajnana brahmam. That is why the formula they wrote. But before coming to aliyar, we were having conscious, but unconsciously we had consciousness. Now we are going back with consciously with the consciousness. So far we were unconsciously conscious. Now we are consciously conscious. That is the effect of realizing the God. It's because the God has got consciousness. The quality of God is consciousness. It's a prime quality that is within ourselves as non-phenomenal. So everybody is having consciousness means everybody is God. Can you deny? Okay. Only human being having a consciousness. What about other living being? They also have consciousness. What about objects? They have consciousness as their quality. Suppose you take cyanide. Cyanide is a poison. But the poisonous effect is its consciousness. So the consciousness, if you say, it is an order of function in everything and everywhere. That's what Swamiji says. The order of function in everything and everywhere. Whether it's a living being or the non-living being. The non-living being, it is a pattern, precision and regularity. You take diamond. Diamond has a pattern. It's a precision. Its regularity is there. The molecules are properly structured. So that is its consciousness. But in the planets, if you say 15th day is a new moon day, next 15th day will be what? Full moon day. By any force can you stop it? No. It's an order of function. Can you say one day, new moon day will be delayed? No. It's an order of function, everything and everywhere, in the cosmic field also. That is the divine consciousness. That is the total consciousness. But that consciousness is within ourselves as super consciousness. But we are with the conscious mind. What consciousness we are moving now? We'll just check that. You all sit erect now. Because this is elucidation of gravity. And the gravity has got consciousness. And whether it is with us or not, we will have to see. Now you show your index finger. You close your eye and concentrate on your index finger. We are now meditating on our index finger. Our mind is now focused on our index finger. Yes, we have meditated on our index finger. Let the finger be as it is. You look at me now. We all meditated with our index finger. With the same index finger, we are all going to touch our cheek. Please touch. Yes. I said where to touch? Cheek. I was touching my forehead. Where you touch? You have touched your forehead. Why? Some of them have touched the cheek. Very conscious. How many of you say this is only cheek? No. This is only. How do you know this is cheek? When you studied in the LKG or UKG, the parts of body, ma'am taught that this is cheek, which is stored in your subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is functioning at your brain level. So as a thought, as a memory, you have stored it in subconscious mind, which will never go wrong. But the peripheral conscious, which is acting at the sense level, always go wrong. You thought that what master is doing, I will also do the same, will be correct. So you have done it. But you are now agreeing that you are wrong. For all our actions, no doubt we are awakened state only we are doing, but not really we are aware. We are not conscious. For the world peace, when Swamiji made this Manavalakkala Yoga or simplified Kundalini Yoga, sky system, he defined it only with three principles, three objectives. The first objective is understanding the law of nature. We have to understand the law of nature. That is the first object. The second object is expansion of the mind. The mind, when it is restricted with your sensory organs, it is in the temperamental state. And its frequency will be about 14 to 40 in the beta level, where it cannot understand what is the real thing. What is real, it cannot understand. And then the third one is awareness in thought, word and deed. If you create awareness in thought, word and deed, then the problem is solved. The cause and effect system will come to effect. So to create awareness in thought, word and deed, you have to merge your peripheral conscious to your subconscious. The peripheral consciousness is working at the sensory level, which you merge with to subconscious means you have to concentrate at subconscious mind, that is agna and 11:15. So you have to merge it with your subconscious mind, for which we have to withdraw the mind from the sense organs. For that we are withdrawing it from sense organ. We are focusing at one sense, that is touch sense. And Turiya meditation, you still merge with that, the life force itself, so that all these organs are detached. Now the peripheral mind has become subconscious mind. When the subconscious mind, when in Turyatita meditation, you merge with your total consciousness, your super conscious mind. So in Turyatita meditation, your subconscious mind merged with the super conscious mind. Super conscious mind is always in contact with the total conscious, that is the divine consciousness. So the Brahmajnana meditation, you cannot see what you are meditating. You are only withdrawing your sense, your peripheral conscious and merging it with the subconscious. The subconscious you are going to merge with your super consciousness. Super consciousness is always merged with the total consciousness. Then total consciousness is God. You are merged with the total consciousness. Then what you are? You are God. When you see a sugar, it is phenomenal. When you consume sugar, the sugar become non-phenomenal. But now you become sugar. You give it to a sugar patient, he will say, no, I am already a sugar patient. I will not take sugar. Because he is sugar. He is sugar. Now, our peripheral consciousness says that we are man. We are human being. You are so and so, you are so and so. But when you are merge your consciousness with the subconscious and subconscious to super consciousness, you merge yourself with the God from where you emerged. So, realization is the word defined from real. That's what Swamiji says. Realization is to understand what is real. What is real? What is real in me? Who am I? Really, who am I? When you really find out who you are nothing but consciousness. You are nothing but, because if you are unconscious, you do not know who you are, who is around you, where you are, you do not know. So it means you are consciousness. So the consciousness is nothing but the super consciousness. Super consciousness is nothing but the total consciousness. So that is the effect of this course. So when you realize that you are consciousness and consciousness is God, now you are God. You agree with me now? Okay, now you go as a God. But you go as a God means any change in dress is required, any change in voice is required, or command is required, nothing is required. If there is no change in the milk and the curd, if you see the color, is there any change? The milk as well as the curd? No change in the color. But there is a change in quality. The curd is such thing that if you add 1 drop of curd into 10 liters of milk, what will happen to the milk? The milk will become curd. The milk will become curd. And it will not get spoiled then. As a milk, if suppose 1000 liter milks want to become curd, can it become? Not possible. It's not possible unless the curd mixed with that. Swamiji says, I wanted to become God. I wanted to become God. I tried so many ways. Nothing could be possible. Then I adopted a simple technique. I put God in me. I merged God in my consciousness. I was thinking about God. Naturally what happened? God merged with me. Then I become God. And then I started singing. I become God means when I am singing, who singing? God singing. That is what he says, the kind voice of the divine. The kind voice of the divine. He wrote this technique, the secret, in one of the poem. In Tamil he wrote it. I kept him in me, he merged with me, then I became him, and then I sing. So who sing that? The kind voice of the divine. Who wrote it? Swamiji wrote it. But he said that when I merged God, it means I am milk. I put curd in me, then I become what? Curd. So, when you become a Brahmajnani, you are curd. Now you are no more a milk. But no change in color, no change in shape, no change in voice, no change in dress. You go same way to the house. You go as Brahmajnani, but nobody can identify you as a Brahmajnani because the change has happened in quality, not in the shape. The phenomenal thing, no change. But non-phenomenal thing has changed as Brahmajnani. So that is why Swamiji say, when you write your name hereafter, don't write, I am Nakiran means I cannot write Nakiran. I should Brahmajnani, Nakiran. Because phenomenal change has happened now. So that should come first. Brahmajnani you have to change. When you go home as a Brahmajnani, what will be the effect there? The effect you should see now. That is when you are, when you first time see your wife, what was your feeling? How the contact was with the love and compassion? Aggressively affectionate, no? Forgetting all the mistakes and other things. It's okay, it's okay. Now, that much of affection has turned into that much aversion now. Yes? In the walk of life, we have developed a lot of aversion with our wife, chith and kin, and our neighbors, our fellow beings. We developed aversion. But when you become now Brahmajnani, what is the effect of God? The characteristics of God? It is only divine and holy. It's holy and divine. It is in the practical term love and compassion only. So now when you go back, what should come in you? Only love and compassion. No more defect. Because now we are curd. We can make any person as curd only. Because 10,000 liters of milk, even 1 spoon is mixed curd, you cannot say that 1,000 liters is remaining as milk. No. That is why when Swamiji realized this, when he became Brahmajnani, he told, anybody can become Brahmajnani, I am ready to help. I am ready to help. What is the quality is, you should have a body and you should have a life force, that's all. Irrespective of caste, creed, religion, country, anything. Whether you are a criminal, you are a sinner, you are a non-sinner, no problem. A criminal can also, a buffalo milk can also become curd, a goat milk can also become curd, a cow milk also become curd, because only it needs curd. But if I am Brahmajnani, I have realized myself means, then anybody whom I meet can be Brahmajnani. I can make it. So that should be the quality. So with that, if you go, your house will have a peace. When you get into the office, your office will have a peace. When you are in the crowd, there will be a peace. Because you are the peace, you can spread the peace. That is a value that we are going to have to realize the God. So God realization is nothing but realization of ourselves. Because we have consciousness. When we have consciousness, naturally the God. Then why this trouble? Why this trouble? Why people have not realized it? When we realize God, we will have a peace in ourselves. And we have to make everybody Brahmajnani so that we can have a peace in the world. So our aim is first we should become curd, and we should do the curdling process for everybody. So in 2 days you are only going to do that. How to do the curdling process. How to precipitate them from their quality, real quality, without knowing them. That is why you will be given the master course here. You are going to get trained and you are going to make everybody the Brahmajnani. That is a basic aim, to spread the peace. But now we'll come back to God. Now the gravity, which scientists call as gravity, our ancestors called as Thavam, Brahman, or Bhagavan, or Allah, or Pitha, whatever you call it as, it is a supernatural force. The force is non-phenomenal. But it is non-phenomenal, but you cannot say it is nothing. It is nothing. You cannot say it is nothing. It has everything. Because whatever you take, whatever the object, whatever the shape you take, if you delete the shape, it will become non-phenomenal only. So Arupa is God means, and that is everything. So the God is nothing but the consciousness, not only consciousness, it has other qualities also. That is why when our ancestors identified God, they found out 4 qualities or 4 attributes are there in the God. So when they wanted to give a shape for the God, because we always see a phenomenal thing. So when they wanted to show phenomenally the God, they formulated 4 heads for the God. What are the 4 heads? What is that God? Brahma. Brahma had 4 heads. Then they had a confusion. What to do? The 4 heads, with that they had a confusion. So they created one story and cut 1 head. And they made 3 heads with the God. But Swamiji has defined it. He realized a God. He understood the quality of the God. Then he said that, yes, the God has got 4 qualities, which are nothing but the plenum, inexhaustible source of energy. Suppose a moon has created, a star has been created, there is no vacancy in the space. There is no vacancy in the space. And so inexhaustible source of energy is there. Now I say simply I use the word space. Why I use the space? Because our people have realized the God is infinite, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient it is, they call. It has every power, mightier force they said. Now the scientist in America asked, what is God, to Swamiji? Swamiji asked a very simple question. He brought a bucket full of water and a ball was floating on that. He showed that bucket full of water and asked, the ball is floating on that. Now the ball is mightier than the water, or water is mightier than the ball? Which is mightier than the other? The water. Because the water upon which only the ball is floating. Now we asked, what is the weight of the earth? They defined so many tons. What is the weight of the sun? That is about 20 times greater than the weight of the earth. Okay, where are they floating? They are all floating in the space. Not only our solar system, there are so many cosmic bodies, they are floating in the space. Can you show any other thing other than the space which is mightier? And is there space which is not there any place? Any place have you found space is not there? Even if you explode an atom, the center of the atom there is a space. Between the orbits there is a space. Space is everywhere, and in everything space is there. Whether it is an atom, whether it is the universe, you find everywhere the space. So space is omnipresent and space is omnipotent. So space is omniscient and omnipotent means there is no other force mightier than this. Can you say any other force mightier than this? Then I will accept that as God. But they could not so. So the space which looks nothing, but it has the gravity. It has the gravity. Because of that only the solar system is intact. It is not moving out here and there. The solar system, and between the planets there exists a repulsive force. The moon is kept in its orbit, earth is kept in its orbit, it is not clashing each other. So between these two there is a repulsive force. But all the solar system planets are within the solar system due to a compressive force. Due to a compressive force the solar system is intact. Due to a repulsive force between the planets there is no clash. So the God now it exists in two forms. One as a repulsive force, the other as a compressive force. But the repulsive and compressive force is a one force at the two ends. If I press something here, it is a compressive force. At a particular point, if I further press it, it becomes a repulsive force because it's going out. So that is what we say, sir. Swamiji says that the God is an unified force. The God is a unified force. It is everywhere. That is why he wrote this book, Unified Force. It is the English translation of Brahmajnana. Swamiji wrote Brahmajnana in Tamil. Its translation is English. It's unified force. That scientists call it as gravity. Now what is God? God is nothing but consciousness, and consciousness is in you. The same consciousness is outside means it is gravity, which has force. So force is intact, inherent in God. Then the force, it is not only force, it has another quality called consciousness. That is the order of function in anything and everything. That is God. So God has got now two qualities. What is the third quality of God? One is force. Omnipotent. That is inexhaustible source of energy. That is plenum, first one. Second one is force. The third one is consciousness. The fourth quality, our people had a confusion, that is time. That's the time. Because the gravity is a it is a dark matter. It is omnipresent, omnipotent everywhere, but it is very dark. If you go beyond our sun, you see in the cosmic field it is only dark. You cannot see the light. If you go beyond the cosmic field, it is absolutely dark only. So the God is a dark matter. It's a divine fluid, he says. It can spread anywhere. It's translucent. And it's highly permeable. Space can invade everywhere. You cannot prevent space entering everywhere. So it is highly permeable. It is highly translucent and transparent. And it is a dark matter. And it has a force. It has consciousness. And it is inexhaustible. So Vatra Irupu they say in Tamil. It is inexhaustible source, plenum. And it has another quality called time. So the time is the fourth attribute of God. Can you accept it? Time? Because the dark fluid matter is continuously curing. It is a self-curing. It's a self-curing kinematic force because of its force. Because between two successive curing, the gap, that is time. That time, it's a minute quantity. You can compare it when you blink your eye, how much time you take. It's a very fraction of second. It is still fraction that time. Time is an attribute. So that is why our people are unable to realize it. It is between an action and inaction. It's the time gap between an action and inaction. So that is the time. That is there. So these are the four attributes of God, which is plenum, force, consciousness and time. That is why our people, when they realized Brahma, Brahman means God. They had 4 heads. Finally they cut it, but Swamiji cleared this confusion. How Swamiji cleared is, when you merge your peripheral conscious to your subconscious, subconscious will get merged with your superconscious. At superconscious transcendental state, you are one with the total consciousness. That time, what is there that you can realize? That only Swamiji realized and explained. Many people attempted to realize this, but they could not reveal it. They could not reveal it. In Tamil, they would say, Kandavar Vindilar, Vindavar Kandilar. Kandavar means who realized. Vindilar means who has not revealed it. Swamiji only could realize and reveal it. But our senior professor Lakshmanan will give an example. A salt. The salt, where it comes from? Sea water. The salt wanted to see its motherland. So it went in a boat to the center of the sea. And at the center of the sea, the salt said, I want to see the depth of my mother. So it jumped into the sea. What will happen to the salt? It will get dissolved. Our great revelators who wanted to realize God, they went into deep meditation, they dissolved themselves in the total consciousness, they never come out. At simplest, it is something, some persons like Swamiji, they came up and then revealed it. And Swamiji went to that level and came out and revealed the consciousness. And not only that, he made us to realize it and reveal it. The realizing is through Brahmagnanam, revealing is through master course. You are going to reveal it to people and you have to make everybody the Brahmagnani. So now the realization of God is essential to us or not? Yes. Now we have a God quality, we are God, but at the peripheral consciousness we become a human being and even worse than human being. So now we have to be consciously conscious about ourselves that we are Brahmagnani. That is the aim of that course. With the Brahman, when we call it as, in Sanskrit, it's God. In science, it is gravity. Now we know what is gravity. Gravity is a dark fluid matter which is highly permeable, which has force, which has inexhaustible source of energy, which has consciousness, which has time. But that all 4 is there means a diamond is a diamond. Even if it is broken into pieces, it will exhibit the diamond quality, right? Now you are God means you should have all the 4 with you. You have inexhaustible source of energy with you. See, sir, I attended a 1 hour class. I lost my mind. I have to put my mind into charge. Is there anybody who is saying, I brought a charger for my mind. I forgot. No, your mind is inexhaustible energy, right? You never charged or discharged it. It is totally flowing. You spend your mind for the classes. You spend your mind for TV. You spend your mind for so many things. But you say still mind is empty. You cannot say. It is inexhaustible source. Like a diamond piece has the diamond quality, a God piece has got God quality. You agree with me that you have inexhaustible source of energy? You have consciousness? Yes, you have consciousness. Then another quantity is what? Force. Our force only our partner knows. How much forcefully we beat, right? We have force. You agree with me? You don't want to test your force now? Please don't test it. Okay, we have force. Now we have become Brahmagnani. We should not test our force. Right? So force is with us. We have energy, we have force, we have consciousness. Now the time is there. The neighboring house, a girl of 23 years, completed her education in a computer science, got married a computer engineer. They settled in America. The family came. The neighboring lady saw that. Seeing that girl, she also worried. Her husband asked her, why you are worried? See the neighboring girl, she got nicely married and then very well settled. I am worried only about my daughter. Why? My daughter also should get such a kind of bridegroom and should get married. Now the bridegroom side, they say their brother is available. The boy's brother is available for marriage. Can this girl be married? Not possible, because that girl is 23 years old. Her girl is only 3 years old. Can you get married? Boy is ready, but get married. 20 years you have to wait. The time is there. Time is there in you or not? Now you should tell me. You are there as a baby. You are there now. You are going to be there. So according to time, so time is an inherent quality. You are present. You have the time with you. So you have all the 4 attributes. So can you compare yourself with the Almighty? So you have realized Brahma. The Brahman is having consciousness, freedom, time and force. So we have all the 4 attributes. So naturally we are Brahman. So that is the aim of the course. So having realized the Brahman, now what we are going to be? We are going to exhibit only the love and compassion. Slowly, the peace will settle in ourselves. We will not have any problem, because when we merge ourselves with the consciousness, whatever we want, we put it as an auto-suggestion, it will happen. Because now we have understood what is nature. What is nature? What you cannot make is nature. A cell phone you can make, which is artificial, but it is made out of sand. Sand is a nature, which you cannot make. Now understanding the law of nature is the main object of this course. Now can you make your father? My father is very bad, so I am ordering for a new father. Can you make your husband? My husband is worst, so I am going to order for a new husband. My wife, your children, your boss, your neighbor, even myself and you, we are nature only. Now you cannot change. The nature has 2 forces. One is compressive, the other one is repulsive. Whatever the people who went away from us is due to repulsive force. Whatever the people who are with us, it is due to the compressive force. Our father is a compressive force. Mother is a compressive force. Husband is a compressive force. And our wife is due to compressive force. Children due to compressive force. The child is not good, so I will throw away this child, I will get another. It's not possible. It is due to compressive force. When you realize this, will you have any problem with your wife, with your father, with your mother, with your neighbor, with your boss? No problem. So we will settle, because in the non-phenomenal form consciousness, that only disturbs us. Nothing else disturbs us. See, it's a change in consciousness will make everybody comfortable, and the comfort will come within ourselves. So realizing the Brahmajnana, we are first going to have peace in ourselves. We are going to spread peace in our family, that will spread to the whole world. That is the aim of this course. So with that I conclude the elucidation of gravity. Be blessed by the divine.